Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to America's only daily outdoor TV show. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here. Got a great show lined up, and we'll get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at Baldwin Road and Highway 77 right here in Lynn Haven. Okay, it's a little cooler than it has been. This is March. March is traditionally, been known as a windy month, and it started off. Remember, they say it comes in like a comes in like a lion and leaves like a lamb. It has definitely come in like a lion this year. It has been blowing, really, really strong. So, in fact, today it's northwest on the marine forecast at 10, but it's been like 17 to 20 the last couple of days. High today be 64, low tonight 41. And water temp is at 62. The river readings, the Apalachicola at Bluntstown continues a slow, steady drop at 17.4. The Choctawhatchee at Caryville. Now, that's not a steady drop there. That's a pretty strong drop for the Choctawhatchee. You're looking at 10.9, right at 11 foot, and going on out by the weekend. It'll be both rivers are dropping, and both of them got a good drop going on. The catfishermen are really happy. In fact, later on in the show, I got a tip of the day for our cat fishermen, okay? Our tides, looking at our tide today is Thursday, March the 7th. And remember, the first day of spring now will be March the 20th. And the tide today, we got a low tide at 3:38 and a high tide at 5:55 p.m. Got a good strong tide. Even on through the weekend, got a good strong tide. So looking out for the, looking at about a 1.8 foot range right there. And the sunset today is at 5:46. And don't forget, Saturday night to set your clocks forward. Time changing this coming weekend. So go ahead and get used to it and get a little bit later on in the day, okay? That takes care of our weather. Let's take our first break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Let's start off with some pictures. Y'all are really good about sending in pictures. And this one, John is sending a picture, brought in a picture. This is John and Meredith. Last week on their good fishing trip, this is their tandem kayak, and they're both, both caught some nice fish and got on those Panhandle outdoor caps, and that's what brought them good luck. And Meredith, a big old smile there, and they had a good time. That looks good, John. You got a good start right there. All right, now, because you're taking her fishing and she's happy. That's a good start for a good relationship, okay? Our next one here, we got a good mess of speckled trout. Some of our viewers seen there's a couple of people fishing, but right before that weather came in last week, caught some nice trout right there, okay? Next one right here, this is two of my former students, Andy Breimer and Travis Bassford. Travis works for FWC now. A nice bull red they caught out there in the pass. Good job there, guys. And then let's go this weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, the Biophilia Center. Butterflies need a helping hand, how to create a butterfly garden. A lot of people are asking about that. It's going to be Saturday, March 16th at 11 o'clock at the Biophilia Center on Highway 20. All right? Next picture, we've been talking a lot about, March is a transition month where we get the spring migration starts in March. Talking about the Spanish and the cobia and all, and everything's precipitated by what's going on with the water currents, okay? Not the air temperature, but the water temperature, and that's all determined by the current. And I just got a couple of pictures I want to show you. Of course, the brighter the color, the warmer the water temperature. And this one I got off the internet to show you where you have these thermals, and that's really coming up. We've talked about this before on the show, and really a lot to be said about it. The next one, actually, I want to break down the temperature as of Wednesday afternoon. You can see the water temperature. That's our thermal right there, the same thermal that we just saw in the previous one. It's 71 there, but it's 50, a little spot southeast of us at 59 degrees between us and Tampa. But you can see where those fish they might be down there around Tampa now and moving on up. And they'll cut across there just as soon as a little bit more of that orange comes in there. We're going to be in great shape as far as the migration working on. So we'll keep you posted on those thermals and on the water temperature. And we just understood, I got word that Scott Lindsay told us they caught 2 more permit at the pass the other day. That's a total of 3 permits they've caught out at the pass. You catch them on crabs, and a lot of fun. Big, strong fish right there. Okay? Now, let me try to catch up on a couple of emails. This is from Bill Barfield. He said, well, hey, Winston and John, thanks a lot. I've been out of the serious fishing business for about 30 years. I've been spearfishing. The old Divers Den gang, I was with them before most of the younger guys came over to learn. Now, I have the fishing bug again, but I want to stay away from the boat landing hassle and maintenance issues, so I've headed off to buy a Pro Angler 12 from Brad. That's a good idea right there. The fishing report is great, and part of the reason for my getting back into spring and summer fishing, the report we do on Friday. I still hunt to my heart's desire, probably more than most people that I know. I have that down fairly good, except when the bear decides to tree me. Remember, we had those pictures he sent in back during the season. On the show request, I would love to see rigging on flounder, redfish, trout, anything. I even enjoyed you showing how to tie a blood knot, which I had forgotten all about. So thank you, Bill Barfield, for sending that in. And you know, those little things sometimes we do, don't know if you really enjoy those knots, so it's good to get an email. And that blood knot, you know, we do forget about doing those things if you don't do them on a regular basis, and we certainly will show that again. Hey, Winston, I am confused. This is Gloria Turner, and this is basically, I want to read it verbatim. She was fishing at a Hathaway Bridge, and an FWC officer came by, and I was talking to him, and said I was going in the hot water canal, because this is back when it opened on March the 1st, and he was telling her that you couldn't keep the fish there, and she understood you could keep the fish as of March the 1st. So I forwarded the email to Ken Paramore, and Ken sent us back, yes, you can keep it, and here's the direct wording of the law for Warren Bayou, which is the Steam Plant Canal. I'm just going to read it to you verbatim. No person shall harvest marine fish during the months of January, February, November, and December of each year in any of the waters of Warren Bayou or its tributaries, including the discharge canal and the Lansing steam plant, from the Lansing Steam Power Plant, or within 100 yards of the mouth of Warren Bayou. Okay, so that means those months you cannot do it, but all the other months you can. So, Steam Plant Canal, as we commonly refer to, is open and it can be used. So thank you all for sending those emails. Anytime you got a question on that to get it clarified, we'll certainly try our best to, if we don't know, it's like Rick said yesterday, we'll find somebody that does know. All right? We're going to take our break, and we'll come back with a video. We're going to have John come back on, and we'll show you video of something really special he just saw on his recent fishing trip. Welcome back, and welcome to our cohort. John, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, listen, I was at work the other day, and I got a call that you had been out at a house up there in North Bay, been fishing. So what else you been up to?
I've been trying to fish.
Yeah.
This wind has been kind of keeping me away from it. I had hoped to go out into the Gulf a bunch this whole week, and that wind is keeping me out of there. Those waves have been really big with that southwest wind that we've had. But this past, let's see, what day was that? Was that Monday?
I think it was Monday this week, yeah.
Monday in the bay, I mean, it was glass all day long. It was a beautiful day, but unfortunately, the bay was still muddy up in there. I mean, it had cleared up a little bit, but it was not what it usually is.
I want to interrupt John right now. What John is relating to you, he's only been here a short period of time, but now he's already got a volume of knowledge by doing one thing, and that's going out there. Going out on the pier and seeing it day in and day out, and then coming on the bay and seeing it day in and day out. And now you beginning to learn it, and that's what we talk about. Just get out there and do it, no matter where you are. Just get outdoors and observe it, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
So you learning a lot?
Oh yeah, I'm getting to know the bay and the water very well. But let's see. I paddled for a good 4 hours. Just went all over the place in North Bay, and it was a great day to do it. So
yeah,
I had to. But there was a porpoise way up in the back, which I don't know if that's common. That's around your place. Do you see porpoise?
Yeah.
It was way far. It was all the way up, probably in like 3 to 4 feet of water. way back there.
They're not huge schools. They come up there 2 or 3 at a time on occasion. Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to see that. They're up there looking for food, you know.
And then I went all day where I had one fish come up to the boat, follow my jig in, and I had one little hit, but other than that, I didn't get anything. And then it was towards the end of the day, and I thought I saw something feeding on top of the water. So I got my fishing pole ready, got my camera ready, good to go. Started paddling a little bit closer to it, and then I was like, "Oh man, that's not a fish. That's a gator." I thought it was a gator swimming through.
Because we have gators
and,
up there.
Then I got a little bit closer, and turned out to not be a gator, but something else. So take a look at this video.
Well, okay, but
we'll
you don't want to tell people what it is yet?
No, I'd explain it in the video. I think.
Okay, so we're going to talk over the video, or you talk? Okay.
Yeah, I talked during the video.
Okay, so all right, we'll go ahead and watch this video, and then we'll come back and talk about it later. Okay.
All right. I think I have found a manatee in the water here, which is something I've never seen. Let's see if I can catch up to him. Hopefully I don't scare him off too much. Well, that might have scared him a little bit. Come back up, buddy. Oh yeah, definitely a manatee. Wow. Don't want to get too close. He's big. Whew.
Well, all right, John, that was something special, I guess.
It was a first-time experience for me, and
Yeah.
Surprised me big time. I mean, I know you can hear it in my voice.
Yeah.
Whenever I finally realized, oh, that's a manatee. I was not expecting that at all, and I was really surprised at how big the thing was, and also how ugly it was. Because I mean, the ones that I've seen, have always been in aquariums and nice, and,
clean,
and this thing had mud just caked all over it, and I couldn't see its face, so it was kind of mysterious in a way, and its tail, that's what really blew me away. Is just how, I know you couldn't see it in the video, but its tail is just so big.
Yeah.
And it's just really neat coming up on that in the wild.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, it's a very rare sighting around those parts, and a lot of people that even live around here don't really know that they're here all the time. So
yeah, we do have them, but we don't have them very often. And the history of them, I was telling you during the filming of it, or during the showing of it a while ago. Columbus is documented in his voyages when they came over to the islands and all. That's what they thought were the mermaids when they saw the manatees out there in the distance and floating like that. Of course, their imagination with the sun and all just took them, and then I think he quoted them later on and saying they were not as when they got closer they were not as attractive as they thought they were. But
no, definitely not a mermaid.
Yeah. But they are fascinating creatures.
Very
fascinating. Well, they have, of course, a lot of them in South Florida. I have a friend down in around Ormond Beach area, and it aggravates them because of the manatee zones. You have to drive real slow, but they just don't have the ability to get out of the way, and we do have to go slow. But up here, we don't have a problem. It's not that many of them, and on rare occasion we do see some. And so I'm glad you got exposed to something like that. And I don't know the way he did because he was actually out there on Monday, paddling and doing it.
Yep. Very easy to see it. I mean, I saw it from very far away.
Yeah.
And thought it was fish.
Yeah. But. And you still had a lot of water washing over the dam. Was it?
Yeah, I didn't get that close to the dam. I couldn't see the dam, but it was nasty. It was gross water, unfortunately. Yeah. Hopefully by this weekend it'll be cleared up, especially for that redfish tournament.
Okay. And the redfish tournament now, have we found out where the weigh-in's going to be? Or?
No, I've heard it, but I can't remember.
Okay.
I can look it up real quick.
All right. And who all is fishing it?
I know Bill Allen and Dalton Allen. We've got a little from people that I know, is a little father-son combos going on, and then Mark Cowart and Michael Cowart. I think I'm going to try and cover the both of them as much as I can, especially during the weigh-in, and try and get like their prep work in there and all that. Hopefully put a good little segment together.
I'll guarantee you they'll be out Friday doing some pre-fishing, and you sort of have to do that to sort of locate them, and they'll catch them.
Yeah, I hope so.
That'll be fun to cover.
I'll be out there all Saturday.
Okay. All right, let's take our final break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're here this morning. Let's first take a look at our fishing times forecast for today, brought to us by Mark Cowart.
And Mark's at 832 6000, and he's taking me out and around and show me some of his places here in Panama City.
Mark's been good to you.
Yeah, he's got some nice real estate.
Oh yeah.
If you're ever looking at that, but the times today are 8:15 to 10:15 a.m. and 8:43 to 10:43 p.m.
All right, good job there. Now we got the coming up also. We've got a boat races coming up next month and all, but tomorrow now will be the famous fishing forecast, and we'll have that on from Tarpon Rock Seafood, and also give away a $20 gift certificate and also a red snapper. So be sure if you haven't entered, you can enter anytime during the year and try to win some of our stuff. We'll be giving some more stuff away all throughout the year. Okay. One of the things we're talking about, this boat race coming up. It's on April. I say it's a cardboard boat race. Don't get in mind it's a real boat. It's a cardboard boat race. We talked about it the other day when Captain Rick was. It wasn't Rick. It was Alan Courtney was on, and one of Alan Courtney's friends. But John, what do you think about building a boat?
This looks interesting. I didn't at first. I thought you built like something about this big.
Yeah,
and
the model.
Floated it down.
Yeah.
But you got to sit in this thing and ride it.
Yeah, it's to benefit the American Cancer Society. It's going to be, it's like a month away, but you got to start building it now. That's why we're talking about this earlier. April 13th will be at Cargray Park, and we're going to certainly try to cover it. That's going to be just a hoot. If we don't get in it, we want to cover it. But call Wayne Gay at 541-2002. Okay, Wayne Gay, and he'll give you a lot more information on it. But it's going to be the first one, and I've seen them like on videos and all, and they're going to have a special award for the one that sinks. What do they call it?
Yeah, the Titanic Award. It's the Titanic Award is given to the team of the boat that sinks in the most spectacular fashion. I don't know. This sounds interesting.
This would be interesting. So, and all you got to do is float. And you can use duct tape.
Yeah, it's cardboard and duct tape only.
Mm-hmm.
It says.
Well, you can't use wood or plastic or anything like that. So you're going, and if I had time and I would like to do something like this, and I still may. I mean, what do you got to lose? And all you got to do, go to a dumpster behind Winn-Dixie or somewhere and get some good, strong cardboard and just make something to sit in, right?
Yeah, and just make something that you can sit in and float down the river.
And you don't want it to sink.
Yeah.
It sounds simple. Now, if you stop and think, as a kid, we did these kind of things. So
that's very true.
This is for grown-up kids. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we can get some good coverage on that. And that's a great cause there. All right, John. What else? We got. What else you been up to? I know you.
Well, I'm just hoping to get in some more fishing here soon. This weather it's really bugging me. I'm outside and it's beautiful and no clouds in the sky, nice temperature, and then and that's in my protected neighborhood, and the wind's not blowing. Oh yeah, let's go fishing. Get to the pier, walk out to the pier, and I lose my hat and everything, and I can't even cast really.
Yeah, I can't help but to think about what you're saying in the days where these guys had to do it for a living, had to make a living off catching fish, and they ran into this kind of situation. And the more I think about it over the years, the more respect I have for these men who sometimes they would brave it anyway because they had to have some fish, but a lot of times they had to keep it at the dock.
I understand that completely.
Yeah. So this again, we're talking about March being such a windy month, and it's gonna. I keep telling John, it's right around the corner. We're right on the verge. We're right on the verge of good fishing. I'm telling you the same thing.
The anticipation is coming.
Yeah. the late March and early April, it really would be. It's going to be kicking off with with the Spanish and the brim fishing. Going to be brim fishing probably next week sometime. We'll be catching it once the river gets down a little bit. They'll be catching some nice brim and all. And then of course we got turkey season, and you got a trip planned.
Yeah, I got a trip planned with Scott Lindsay to go out there and hopefully shoot a turkey or two. I love watching people call in. I mean, some people are they're so talented at calling those turkeys. That's a really neat sport to watch.
And being in the woods, we talked about last year, being in the woods in the springtime, and it's just really special. I know you and I up in Alabama in the cold winter, we enjoyed that, but now you're really going to enjoy being in the woods in the springtime. So, and again, we'll talk about, here we are, we're talking about, fishing in the Gulf, brim fishing and turkey hunting, right, all here in the Panhandle. I think that's why we can do a show like this, because we just cover so much of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're going strong. We got March, and you're going to be here. People are asking me, my kids are already asking me, I'm going to get you to come up to class and talk to class one day. And we'll bring some pictures and all, and you're going to be here all the way through April.
Yep.
And then when's your graduation?
I'm graduating on May the 4th.
You got that circle on May 4th. And you're going to participate, and you're going to walk through your
graduation?
Yeah,
I'm going to walk. Good. The whole family's going to be there, and grandparents. Parents are like, oh, yeah, out of state, you're definitely walking, and we're going to be watching that.
Well, that's going to be important. All right, so what you got planned today?
Today let's see, I'm finished. I just did a new commercial for your son-in-law Walter. Okay. And finishing editing up that, and then I'm trying to figure out if I can make anything out of my fishing trip on Monday with the manatee into some sort. I mean, I did a lot of fishing, but no catching. But I did a little bit of talking in between here and there, and I think I got a couple of good shots. I mean, it was a beautiful morning, so I don't know if you want to see.
Well,
just beautiful
a lot of folks go fishing without catching, so that's reality TV.
So I might try and put something like that together.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. All right. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow now. Have that famous Friday fishing forecast, and we're gonna wrap it up. Good job on the manatee.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll see you the next day on the show. Okay. After that, folks, you be sure and do something good for somebody today. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.